when you're done getting high, when you're done getting high, and it's over. When the party's over, where you going when the party's over?
What up, y'all? Well, let's try this again. It wasn't doing what it needed to do on the Mac. Took me a little bit more time to be back to come back live. So I'm sorry for the delay in time. 1 second, please. Hey, it's spring break, so bear with me. I'm not alone, or I can do these live shows without any distraction. My babies are home. So happy they're home. But where did I leave off? I left off on Twitter, and I was reading through Angela Stanton King's post where she is literally being unhinged and going after Candace for some odd reason. She doesn't trust Candace with the Black community, but she trusts Donald Trump with the Black community, which in my personal opinion, when you really think of that like whole dynamic and breakdown, in a sense, it's like you're saying we need white people to teach us how to be successful, and I guess to take care of, like, we need white people to take care of us, and the only person you trust to do that is Donald J. Trump. And that was pretty odd to me. It was also odd that she posted this, picking up where I left off, that the establishment fears this, not Candace Owens. I beg to differ. The establishment fears Candace Owens because Candace has culture in a chokehold. Okay? And she did this when she went on Revolt and gave her opinions on there. And I want to dispel this narrative that, and I too have fallen victim to this, right? When I say you kind of have this thought in the back of your mind because of how Black people already receive Candace, that Candace is just not going to be able to relate to the Black community. And maybe she's not that voice. I've said that several times, right? I hold myself to the same standard that I'm holding Angela Stanton King to, but I think that's just me going back and forth and battling with myself on how do we really influence the Black community? And to be honest, it's through culture. It's through media, it's through talking, it's through music. And I think Candace has done a good job of that, despite how she's been received. I wanted to play this clip to go along with why I'm doing this live specifically about Black gatekeepers, such as Angela Stanton herself and other ones. You know, we could put Mitch up there. Mitch is a gatekeeper. Johnny, the IG crew, anybody who's on Instagram, you follow me on Instagram, you know who these people are. I'm actually shocked nobody sent them this live because I would love to hear what they think. And in fact, Mitch commented in my comment section on this live on Instagram. But I'm going to roll this clip real quick. Check this out.
People are now able to hear what Candace is saying and not listening to respond, because a lot of what she's been saying since 2020, even when she was on the Revolt Summit panel, just her message was just drowned out. It was drowned out by ignorance. It was drowned out by people who did not want to listen.
So let me get this straight. Up until recently, y'all didn't want to hear nothing Candace had to say. Y'all was calling her a coon. Y'all was calling her a sellout. Y'all was saying she ain't with us. She goes on the Breakfast Club and panders to you guys. Gets fired by the Daily Wire. Puts out a press release saying she's free. Eyes free now. And now y'all can hear what she's saying. I gotta give it to her. Candace is a genius. She knew exactly what to do.
Oh, man. She knew exactly what to do. Now, I don't agree. I agreed with the first part of it. I couldn't cut it off. I didn't have enough time to edit that part out. But I wanted to show Angela Stanton King that any Black person that speaks out against a narrative that we are slaves and we have not overcome, and that we are still oppressed. Okay. They're a threat to the establishment. They're a threat to the message. They're a threat to the uniparty. They're a threat, period. We gotta stop gatekeeping. Now, I don't think that Candace pandered to Black people in that interview. I think Candace went there as herself and showcased that. I think, to me, anytime a Black person goes into what's deemed a Black space and they don't try to dunk or have a gotcha and they want to have sensible conversations and find places that we relate, it's called pandering. It's not called, let's have an adult conversation. You tell me what you're thinking, I'll respond and tell you what I'm thinking, and we can go back and forth and throw these questions off of each other and get to some sort of solution. It seems like people don't want that. And they want to sit and do this. This is what the establishment fears, not no damn Candace Owens. And she's making this statement because Candace has a white husband, which, look, I get the whole multiculturalism concern. We're going to drown out what makes us different, right? Because we're all unique. And we're going to replace it with all of us looking the same, thinking the same. Like creating a homogenous nation. America is not homogenous in the slightest. We have a bunch of different cultures here. We have different races, different nationalities. It's all here and it's all one big melting pot. So thinking that America will ever be homogenous is crazy. And it actually makes it easier to control the population when they do all think, move, and act the same. So how do we want Black people to be acting? How do we want the nation to be acting? I'll say, I like the fact that we have different cultures. I like the fact that we have different minds. I like the fact that we have different opinions. Let's not change that. Because I know people are going to be like, yeah, but you don't even like multiculturalism. That's neither here nor there. I don't think Candace is less than because she has a white husband. I don't think Candace is any less Black because she has a white husband. In fact, she broke down how she even got with her husband, and it had everything to do with intellect. She wasn't even concerned about the race. She even said, I don't look at my kids and see mixed kids. I think we pay far too much attention to race while, like, you can't make race a factor while trying to fight race being a factor. You can't invoke Dr. Martin Luther King and say, let's judge people on the content of their character, and then pull out the race and be like, well, you married a white man, so now you're not a threat to the establishment. Isn't that even more of a threat to the establishment that whites and Blacks can come together and procreate? Like, wouldn't that get rid of this ridiculous notion that you're somehow no longer Black or accepted in the Black community? Or because you adopt white supremacy? Wouldn't that be opposing white supremacy? Virginia versus Love? Didn't they stick it to the system that said that Blacks and whites couldn't marry? I don't know. Maybe I'm a little lost and you guys can help me out here. Do me a favor before I go too much further into this. Please share this live again. If you're watching via Facebook, hit the share button, hit the thumbs up. If you're watching on YouTube and if you're new here, please subscribe. We're going to get into the Black gatekeepers and their critiques of Candace. I don't understand it. I don't understand why people have a problem with the Breakfast Club interview. I don't understand why Angela Stanton King decided to come out, and call her a disgusting person and say that she hates the color of her own skin. Since when? How does that work? Where did you get this thought from? Because not too long ago, Miss Stanton, people were saying the same thing about you when it came to Trump. You hate yourself. You hate your son because your son was a transgender, still is a transgender. You didn't want to refer to him as she. You got all the backlash in the world for coming out as a Trump supporter and pushing the First Step Act. And all you've done is just turn around and take that vitriol that was exposed to you and directed towards you, and you've turned it to Candace. It's just odd. Let's go further in her. She's been unhinged, okay? Talking about Candace, she's been unhinged. Someone said, Hotep Jesus, why did Candace get fired? Number one, she didn't get fired. They separated amicably. Tell the truth. And in fact, I have another clip that shows that she was ready to get up out of there long before she, quote unquote, got fired. This is what happens when you don't pay attention to people and you only tune in when they're talking about things that you disagree with. You disagree with her, you have something to say. Stop it. Oh, I don't even have that video, but we're going to read this one. Why did Candace get fired? What does Angela Stanton King say? You know why, because she thought she valued talk about the Jews the way she talked about blacks, and they revoked her white privilege. So now white privilege is a thing? Like, can you imagine how many people are kind of just confused based on what Angela Stanton King is talking about? Can you imagine how many black folks are like, wait a minute. So white privilege is a thing now, and Candace had it? How did Candace have it if she's black and all black people don't have this privilege, but white people have it? Like, what gave Candace this preferential treatment outside of the video that I'm going to play for you, that where she openly says what gave her preferential treatment? And it had nothing to do with white privilege. Nothing. It had everything to do with the fact that she spoke for the quote unquote right and what we would like to call the uniparty, and decided that I'm not doing that anymore. So let's go ahead and roll this clip and you guys listen to what she has to say. Of course, it won't load. Here it is.
Because everybody's noticing it. Every single political commentator in America, every single one of them knows this, that if you do not step out and say things that are radically pro-Israel, or if you are too quiet on certain narratives and they want you to be radically pro-Israel, you can lose everything. That's truth. That is a fact. I'm not feeling like I need to hide from that anymore or be afraid to say it, rather, is a better way to say it, because I've endured this for years. I'm just at the end of my rope. I have given so much rope here, and I am just done with it. In a few weeks, I will be out to Israel, and I will be out to Gaza, and I will be able to report to you guys what it is that I actually see. But I also want to say this because it's so important. I am Team God. Okay? I'm Team God. I do not fear the media. I do not fear journalists. I do not fear AIPAC. I don't fear Big Pharma. What I actually fear is God. I think that one day we are all going to have to account for the things that we have done and the things that we have said. And I want to make sure that I am not a person that is parroting lies. The fear of losing your job, encouraging some people to spit out lies, I don't think that works in the end, right? I think you've got to check your priorities. And so with that said, I want to thank everybody who has been on this journey with me, people that have supported me. I especially want to thank all of the Jewish people that have been in the comments saying how outraged they are. And I know that it is especially difficult for you guys right now because you are being smeared, you know? I mean, I'm not going to go away. I'm going to use my God-given voice to talk about the things that are important for me. I'm just asking to be left alone, or at least just report the truth. Ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, that is all the time that we have for today. But don't worry, because we will see you tomorrow for a brand new episode.
So you get to hear from the horse's mouth of why she separated herself. It had everything to do with the fact that we are being told to parrot lies, specifically about this war. We all know this. Anybody who doesn't know this, you're under a rock. So for Angela Stanton King to gatekeep, this is not the moment to gatekeep and say, I don't trust you. You're not black enough. I trust Donald Trump over you, over who cares about my community more. Ma'am, you're both black women. What makes her exempt from your community is what I would ask. What makes her exempt? Since when does she not like the fact that she's black? Why do you guys do this? Anytime we have an opinion, or anytime, I'm saying we because every black conservative goes through this, including Angela Stanton King. Anytime you have an opinion that doesn't line up, you are told you hate yourself. You are told you're not invited to the cookout. You're told all these things. You took this opportunity, instead of uplifting her and saying, you know what, we may not agree, but she should have her opinion and be entitled to it and not be going through all this ridiculous backlash. What are we doing? We stepped in when white people were getting this persecution. No, they're allowed to have an opinion, whether we like it or not. It's an opinion. It's factually based. Why are you labeling them racist for saying that less than 13% of the population is committing these crimes? Why are you rendering them racist because they're saying, man, yeah, certain aspects of the black community does look bad. You know, we're labeling them racist for sitting in lives where they're listening to us talk about these things and voicing their opinions. A lot of us cannot control the fact that we have white viewers that are going to take what we're saying and run with it. But as long as you are being factual, it's never been a problem for white people to speak on these things. But now all of a sudden, she's talking about Jewish people and discussing how she does not agree with what Palestine is doing. And you hop on the train and dogpile when she's already being kicked while she's down. That doesn't make any sense to me. Rabbi Shmuley, shout out to Mo, she sent me this picture of Rabbi Shmuley, who is literally wearing what I deem a very evil and demonic, this is evil. This is evil. I'm going to pull this up for y'all so y'all can see this too. It's demonic. It's evil. It's demonic. Why would a rabbi be doing this? Somebody who is charged with leading a congregation, teaching them to do well, encouraging them to do well. You're online participating in bullying. You are old enough to be her freaking dad. And because she has an opinion that you don't like, once again, notice this is an ongoing trend. We have an opinion that they don't like. We are then deemed white supremacists or racists. Are you seeing the trend? These are two different groups doing the exact same things, but we remain quiet on one and get loud about the other. That doesn't make any sense to me. So this is Rabbi Shmuley, and he said, Candace Owens Jew. Woo! For Purim, I've dressed up as Candace Owens Jew. Or is it just dress up? Or are we Jews deep down always like this? Filthy, money, drunk on Christian blood, and dual loyalties for Israel. You just told on yourself. And it's not all Jews. I don't know why we have to keep differentiating who we're talking about. Now, when you say that the black community makes up 50% of the crime, we understand you're talking about black people within the community, not all. So why we have to give you guys preferential treatment once again and not talk about the negative aspects of the Jewish population is beyond me. But he said, I felt that since Candace got fired on Friday, I may as well try and bring her some Purim cheer by validating all her views about Jews, at least for one day. May all Israel's enemies fall. So exactly what she is complaining about, not even complaining, but exactly what she's pointing out, which is this genocidal mindset of anyone who is not Israel in this conflict is bad. There's no good Palestinian. That is ridiculous. And you have people on daytime TV, on national TV, our representatives, including this Rabbi Shmuley guy here, including Rabbi Barclay, the interview she just did not too long ago. They're allowed to generalize populations of people, but God forbid we do it. And when we do it, we're going to have people that take this opportunity to step all on us, right? And say that I don't trust you with the black community, instead of doing what you say you do, which is you care about the black community. Candace is a part of that. You would be standing arm in arm with her saying, you know what, this is wrong. Look at what this man is wearing. Thank the Lord. People have a brain and they're willing to call him out. Very disturbing. This is disturbing and tasteless. Is that one of your butt plugs? Shout out to whoever that is. Is that one of your butt plugs? You are not a man of God. You dishonor the word. Shame on you. Shout out to the people who are calling him out. because this is stupid. This is dumb. This is like black folks getting online being like, I'm gonna dress up like a thug and say, since this is what you think of me anyway, white people, look. It would be cringe. It's cringe when you do it. It's cringe when we do it. It's cringe across the board. Let me read some of your comments. Because you don't act like the stereotypical black person. Daily Wire is a lost cause now. That's just like them saying they don't care that people don't like them, and then be the same people that be coming for other blacks that support Trump, saying he don't even like black people. What up, Blake? What's up, everybody watching? People are fighting to bully others, hiding behind it's their opinion. But in this country, free speech must be allowed. I agree with you, LL Lewis. Shout out to Mo in the building. That dude is demented. He was pretending to be drinking Christian blood from a red cup. That makes me think that there is some truth to it. The fact that you went all out. Like, if you don't fit the stereotype of the people that she's talking about, then I don't understand why you feel hit. In my opinion, hit dogs holler. Y'all ever heard that analogy? If it don't apply, let it fly. If the shoe fits, then wear it. If it don't, then take it off. What are we doing? We need not defend anyone disparaging groups of people. Hey, man, I'm right there with you. Where's Dr. Umar at? He should be coming to Candace's defense. Hashtag protect black women. Where is he at? Where are all the people? All the pro-blackity blacks. Angela Stan King is coming out and kicking her when she's down. That's a pro-black. Where are all the pro-blacks? Where is everybody? I asked Mitch this not too long ago on the live. I said, why is it okay for you to disparage me as a black woman, but I am barred from disparaging you? Or I'm barred from having an opinion on black people across the board. And I think low key, he kind of gave me an apology. He was like, you know what? I just don't like to see people online giving their opinions and they're not out in the community. Apparently that's a litmus test for them to say whether you're a safe black or not. If you have these opinions and you're out there doing something to change it, which is fair, right? Fair. Do what you do. But I would argue that she's done a lot more than me. She's done a lot more than the average black person to try to wake black folks up. In fact, I think thousands, if not millions of people can give Candace the credit for quote unquote red pilling them. Would they be thinking the way they think now had they never heard of Candace? Just ask yourself that question. If Candace, Tatum, Terrence, Diamond and Silk, Hodge twins, I'm not going to mention David J. Harris because I think he's a grifter, Bryson Gray, if those influential people had not come out and made it cool and low-key relevant to be a black conservative, would there be this shift? Would anybody even be talking about this if it wasn't for Candace? If it wasn't for any of those people, safe to say they've had an impact. Maybe not in the way that you think is, I guess, feasible, but they've had an impact. So why is there such hatred? I'm going to go back to her Twitter page, but why is there such hatred? Why do we have to gatekeep blackness? I'm starting to question, what is blackness now? Like, what does it mean to be black to black people? What does that mean? Do you have to just sit and be quiet and not critique? What does it mean? Somebody just send this to a bunch of your liberal friends and then help me understand what it means to be black now, because I guess I'm just hella confused on what people are exactly looking for, what they want, how they feel about these things. I'm lost. All the way lost in the sauce. Of course, a bunch of people are on. I'm about to drop my link in I'm dropping my link in Discord. Oh man, this is gonna be funny. We'll see who clicks it. But I like to hear other people's opinions on what you think is causing this. Like, what is this phenomenon of having to pass the brown paper bag test? I do it for fun. It's not like I'm really testing to see how black you are, right? It's just fun. It's something that we do. But it's turned into something serious for a lot of people. A lot of people are taking this to heart. A lot of people are saying, you got to pass this test. And if you don't pass this test, then you're not black. I kind of, this is YouTube. Jealousy? That's a good answer, Apex. You're the first person who's been able to give me a real answer on this. I guess it's the same as what it means to be white. Whatever they have in common. Whatever they have in common, right? We don't really know. Well, first you got to be able to pass a Black History quiz. You know, Mitch has his own Black History test that he gives people. It's like a test to tell whether you are a white supremacist or not. And he literally goes down the line and asks a bunch of people. Ask a bunch of people. So, what is your take on George Floyd? What did you think about Breonna Taylor? These are literally the questions that he asked people. Do you think Breonna Taylor deserved to die? Do you think those officers were right? That's the test for if you're black or not, according to Mr. Mitch here himself. Now, here's another post from Angela Stanton King, and she says, hashtag Candace Owens challenge. This woman is unhinged. Name one positive thing Candace has said about the black community. Huh? So Candace has never said anything positive? Shout out to whoever this person is, that we need 2-parent households instead of over 70 black kids being born into single mothers. Like, shout out to whoever this is. We don't need positivity. We need honesty. Who raised y'all? Can't y'all see we're losing? This right here makes me proud, and I'm sure it makes Candace proud to see. Black people are starting to wake up. They're starting to see that it's more than this race-related topic all the time. It's external factors that are literally harming us. Literally, look at this person. This is a bit off topic, but did you notice how the Breakfast Club was less confrontational with her than you? Do you think the response to your interview made them realize their audience isn't as liberal as they assumed? Auntie is butthurt about Candace. Imagine waking up tweeting back to back about someone who doesn't even know you exist. It's not about positive, it's about truth. We fix things when we get to the bottom of it. Don't do any more political anything. Huh? That fathers in the home and focusing on education matters. She consistently discusses how the black community, by focusing on the family and the Lord, can create more self-reliant, successful generations. Huh? I wonder if Angela Stanton King is reading her comments. Are you reading your comments? Do you see what people are saying? She hasn't said nothing positive. You've never said anything positive, Candace. To me, all Angela Stanton King is doing is hopping on the hateful. How do I want to say this? I want to make a strong statement, but I don't want to be disrespectful. I'm just trying to explain the archetype. This is the archetype. Anybody who's read Uncle Tom's Cabin, you know Uncle Tom was a hero. He never turned his back on his people. But you know Sambo. Sambo was the sellout. Sambo. I would say that you are in that archetype right now, Auntie Angie. You are upset. You are upset that Candace went on the Breakfast Club and she's getting love from black people. And she went on there as herself. Okay, I'm starting to think that you didn't go on there as yourself at all. And you went on there as some sort of a gimmick. And although I loved her interview with the Breakfast Club, I did a reaction to it. I'm starting to think whether that was actually you. Because aren't you helping RFK campaign? Is he not pro-choice? Did you not shift on the LGBTQ messaging? You're now referring to your son as a girl, knowing full well he is not a girl. He's not a woman. That is a man. You are a boy, Damon. A boy. She actually archived her Instagram post, and she archived some tweets, but she had to bring them back because people were calling her out for archiving the tweets. She's also limited her comments. You can't comment on the post because she's not allowing any more comments to come on. Come on. I think people fail to realize you can dislike someone all you want and acknowledge they're right about a lot of things. Absolutely. But no, let's hop on the train of we all hate Candace because she's not black enough. When y'all were both pushing the same message. And from my understanding, if Candace, would have played ball with y'all, right? And not distance herself after y'all got caught in the group chat trying to do some finicky stuff. We all know the story. I think y'all would be cool to this day, but because she took a step back and was like, yep, I'm going to distance myself from y'all. Y'all want to plot on my downfall? Y'all want to turn the movement against me? Have at it. And look what happens. It failed. Your mission failed. Kind of like your mission is failing now. You're sitting online going back to back to back to back to back to back. About nothing. Shout out to Joe Budden. She did an interview with him. I think this is the real reason why Angela Stanton is upset, because you ain't on Joe Budden. It's one of the biggest podcasts. A lot of people might not like Joe Budden, but this is one of the biggest podcasts in the hip-hop industry. Culture.
Americans are incredibly talented. Like I said, when it comes to the arts and creativity, I just find Black American to be funnier. I think we're also funnier. I think we have a natural sense of humor. Like when we're comedians, we do it the best. Also when we sing, we do it the best. When we're athletes, we do it the best.
See, Black pride. Yes, Candace.
I say this on
That's
my
what
show.
we want from Candace. Black pride. Not all of the other shit that makes us say, damn, is she proud to be black or is she not proud to be black?
And if you watch my show, you're not hearing anything new. This is what I say. This is the lessons in all of that. Forget the headline about what I said, but why I say it offends me. I'll say because this is what I grew up with and this is what I know we are capable of. Because I know you can do better. And I know who's making the decisions in the boardroom. And I see their evil game and it's Machiavellian and I'm just not having it. That's why I'm not allowed to speak to Black Americans beyond the headlines. That's why they want to separate us, is because they are worried about what would happen if there was a Black Renaissance.
Huh. Sounds like a threat to the establishment if you ask me. Sounds like a threat if you ask me. Okay. My question was, what was Candace's intentions of doing the Breakfast Club, though? It's on YouTube if you want to watch it. If I could say what I believe her intentions were, I would say an olive branch, because we've done enough fighting. Like, look, 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, right? That's 4 years. We've had 4 years of warring with each other. We've had 4 years of this works, this doesn't work. We've had 4 years of you're on the Democrat plantation, right? People got upset at her for saying that, but it's true. We're on mental plantations. She just realized that this is another mental plantation that I'm not willing to be on, and it just so happens to be the right. That's all she's doing. She's saying the same exact thing, right? It's an olive branch. We've done enough fighting. Let's figure out where we can relate and let's actually move the community forward. To me, this is productive. It may not be the crazy, unhinged debates that you guys are used to seeing, where people are flinging insults, yelling at each other, not really getting to the meat and potatoes of the conversation, not really getting to the root, right? Because in my opinion, she's just prescribing or she's diagnosing, I should say, where we've gone left as a community. And we all know these things to be true. We all know that Black culture was not as degenerate as it was before. As it was now, I'm sorry. I mean to say that. It's not. The 20s, 40s, 30s, 60s. It wasn't until some people will argue the 70s and the 80s, mid 80s, where you see this drastic change. Some people will argue even the 60s, after the Civil Rights Act was signed. You see this shift. You see more dependency on the government. You see less productivity. You see more people taking on this victim mindset. You see less of Booker T. Washington. You see more of W.E.B. Du Bois. You see more of Martin Luther King. And look, these guys they are icons in their right? They are leaders. They are pillars in the community of how to get something done. But when you go beyond the surface level discussions, you really start to understand Booker T. Washington's quote. I'm going to pull it up. I quote this all the time. And I don't think people really take in what this man was saying. And it also depends on who the message is coming from. Candace could get on her podcast and say everything I'm saying now, and people will be like, oh, damn, she's got a point. Just is what it is. Let me pull this up so you guys can see exactly what I'm talking about. This, as well as the ballot or the bullet when it comes to Malcolm X and him calling out the Black community. You know, he called out the Black community as well. He called us political chumps. That's what he did. He said, how do you keep voting for the same people that do nothing for you? Why can't you be leaders in your own communities? Stop depending on these people to get the job done for you. And that's what I think a lot of Black conservatives have stepped up to do. They're like, you know what? Let me just answer my nation's call. Because at the end of the day, we are all American citizens. We are all fighting against tyranny. We're all fighting against an agenda to subvert us all. All of us. Let's read this. There is another class of colored people who make a business of keeping the troubles and the wrongs and the hardships of the Negro race before the public. Having learned that they are able to make a living out of their troubles, they have grown into the settled habit of advertising their wrongs, slavery, Jim Crow, Emmett Till. We can keep going. Harriet Tubman. All the things that went wrong. Black Wall Street. They've grown into the settled habit of advertising their wrongs, partly because they want sympathy and partly because it pays. Some of these people do not want the Negro to lose his grievances because they do not want to lose their jobs. This is a man who was alive back then. He experienced slavery. He was a slave himself. If he is calling this out, and then you fast forward to now, and you have young Black people like Candace, like Tatum, all these people that are all over national news. They're calling attention to it. And you have another side that is trying to silence them and say, no, this is a dangerous message for, Black people. This is white supremacy. Booker T. Washington is a white supremacist? Huh? Thomas Sowell, Walter Williams, all these guys that made their life's work exposing the agenda of, they called it the Red Party back then. We have different names for it now. Marxism. You got Chad O. Jackson, who spends a lot of his time calling these things out. And all these people are being labeled coons and sellouts. And then here you have Angela Stanton King. She couldn't wait to hop on the train like Kimberly Klacik. I know you guys remember that whole spat between Candace and Kimberly Klacik. Nothing ever came of that lawsuit, by the way. I'm not that type of Black. We are sowing seeds of discord instead of fighting to bring people together like you claim. Now, it won't be all of us. It won't be all of us. Hold on. You got to join his Patreon to view that interview. That's corny. See, even then, why would he put it on his Patreon? Why would you not put that out for your audience to view for free $99? That's corny on behalf of Joe Budden. Now, hopefully, eventually he releases it after he's done making all the money from it, but somebody has it somewhere. I'm not going to pay to watch that interview. I'll wait till it's free. But I just wanted to come live and kind of talk about this strange phenomenon of Black gatekeeping. The people who gatekeep seem to be doing the most damage, mentally and emotionally, to the community by pushing false narratives such as white privilege, pushing this false narrative of America actually being a systemically racist country, pushing this narrative that if you don't think like the rest of us, then, we're going to kick you to the side and ostracize you. If you don't talk the way I think you should be talking, then I don't want to listen to you. If you don't have the opinions that I think you should have, then I don't want to listen to you. And even more recent, we're watching people. I'm not going to say this because I'm on somewhere in the middle and I don't want our page to get taken down. But those who shall not be named, I think you guys know who I'm talking about. It is now unsafe and unauthorized to talk about them without receiving some sort of backlash. So it's a double whammy at this point. You're getting it from, if you're Black and you're conservative, all right, and you don't take a side on this issue, you're getting it from Black folks, and you're getting it from the folks that control the very news that you watch. And I don't think there's anything wrong with me putting this up. I'm going to say it loud and proud. This is the truth. We need to stop acquiescing. We do. We need to stop conceding language. We need to just come out and say what it is. Call a spade a spade. We have both sides telling us to shut up. Stop talking. You're not a part of this community. Well, now you can't be a part of the media realm if you're not going to get on board and say what we think you should be saying. It's a double whammy. Can you imagine having to wake up every day and not be yourself because of a paycheck? Can you imagine having to wake up every day and get online and say opinions that you don't really believe in just to not be kicked out of a specific, I like to use the word faction because we're all tribal, to not be kicked out of a specific faction's good graces? That has to suck to do that every single day. And then to have people see that you're doing it, and then you call yourself out on it. Chuck the deuces. Like, literally chuck the deuces and say, you know what, I'm out. I'll catch y'all on the flip side. I'm not doing this no more. And then have people hop on board and kick you down even more. The same people that should be standing arm in arm with you in this journey of truth. We don't have that anymore. We're in a weird, very weird space, y'all, where people would rather be quiet and comfortable than uncomfortable and free. War is not peace. Freedom is not oppression. Truth is not hate speech. Truth is truth, regardless of who's saying it. And I get it. There's certain people you want to hear this from. We have confirmation bias. But we got to get past that. We got to get past that, and we got to do more. I'm going to drop the link. If anybody wants to come on and push back against anything I've said, anybody wants to come on and give their opinions on what I've said, you think I didn't do a good job covering it, or you feel like I'm kind of giving Candace a bit of an out. I don't think I am. I think I've been very hypocritical of Candace, but I've done so with reason. Hit the link. I'm going to give some people in Discord the link. They could come on and chop it up. Oh, you know what? Yeah, this guy right here. This guy right here. He's been barking up the wrong tree. I would love to see what he thinks about all this. Let's go. Scuba Steve. Excuse me. It's difficult doing this by yourself, man. You got to keep a bunch of people entertained. You can't just stop and take a breath. Good Lord. I want to stop and take a breath and breathe for a minute. I don't want to keep talking, but I got to keep talking. I'm really happy to see all these comments, though. All these comments of people calling out Angela Stanton. Oh, God. Look, somebody said this I won't be posting any more controversial content if it's not bringing us together. Ooh, I'm still in this. I'm still in this. Didn't age well, Angela Stanton. Some people so triggered. Candace is getting so much love from all over the world. Stop being bitter and get on some real shit like Candace. It's nice to see black folks stand up and not even make a statement, but like stand up and stand for something. Don't just fall for anything. Who we got on here?
Cheers.
Marlandon, what's up? How you doing?
I'm good. I can be on here for a few minutes.
Go for it.
But yeah, we need to stand for some, or we gonna keep falling every time, just like you said.
Absolutely. What is your take on this strange phenomenon?
It's just funny how she flip flopped all of a sudden. Well, been flip flopping, but it's like it's just crazy how now she doing this. It done got to this level, and I was like, huh? When I was reading, I was like, is she serious right now? Like, is she serious? Like, that's all I can say. And just shake my head like I do at a lot of stuff. I just be like, oh my God, what else is new? That's all I'd be like.
It's just, like I said, it is just awesome to see a bunch of people stand up and call her out for what it is.
Even a few on the shade room, even though I didn't expect much, but even a few on there, of course you got the people talking about, now she know how I feel to be black. I was like, huh? I was like, what?
Yeah, Scrappy said that. I don't know where he got that from, but hey man, whatever floats your boat. All over the world, is she exaggerating? No. I don't think you guys understand how big Candace really is.
Exactly.
I don't think people do. Candace is not some B-list celebrity. You got to understand that. Candace sits with presidents.
She done came along.
Candace campaigns for presidents. Candace goes on world stages and speaks. She travels to different countries and she's relevant in these countries.
Yep.
People in Africa know Candace. In Africa. Yeah. All over the world. She is a loved figure. Now, like I said before, you don't have to agree with everything.
You don't.
You don't. And it's okay. Because I don't agree with everything.
Yeah.
There's some stuff I do agree with, and there's some stuff that I'm just like, I think you might have you just like kind of went a little over everybody's heads with that.
Yeah.
But at the end, at the crux of her argument, she's being honest. That's what matters the most, is honesty.
Yeah, like I say, I don't like a lot of people, boy. When they right, they right. When they wrong, they wrong. You can't.
Yeah.
People can't deny that. But they want you just because they don't like her.
That's it. They don't like her. They're upset with whatever they're upset by. And they'll be okay though. That's all I'm saying is you're gonna be all right.
I just get sick of the. She talks so bad about black people, and then she want people to feel sorry for her, come to her defense. I just get sick of hearing that. She talks so bad about black people. I get tired of it.
Oh man.
Oh, so now she black now. It's just so much.
I'm trying to find Mitch.
Oh God.
Where's Mitch at? Mitch makes for great entertainment. You gotta admit that.
Yeah, I can admit it. I just try not to conversate with him because I know how I can get, and I'm not trying to cuss or say nothing bad on him. I already can't comment on nobody Instagram posting to the 28th.
Let me see. Let's see what Mr. Mitch is doing. Oh man, do you know what this is why I'm opening the conversation. Mitch used to rag on Angela Stanton King. Mitch has called her a fraud. Mitch has ran this woman through the mud. But as soon as she criticizes Candace for being self-hating, guess what Mitch does? She's a grifter, but that's exactly what it said in my comment section. Yeah, she's a grifter, but she's not wrong about Candace hating herself. That's easy to exploit. Like, okay, since when does she become someone credible? Same thing I did with what's his name? Who was it? Trump's former campaign advisor. Forgot his name, but he tried to use him as a source for how he knew Trump got paid off from the TikTok. I can't think of his name right now.
It's with an S and a B, I know. Damn.
And now Angela Stanton King, she's a viable person.
I think is it Stephen Barron?
No, I can't think of his name right now. He's got kind of short, long hair, but it's gray. Can't think of his name right now. So is he saying that she never does? I don't know what you mean by that comment, but I'm happy of the comments that I'm looking at of all these people being like, bro, what? Like, where is this coming from? And I hope Angela Stanton King, she starts doing what Candace is doing and having constructive dialogue. Because right now you just seem bitter. You just seem like you're upset and you're jealous that you're not on the Breakfast Club and you ain't been invited back since. You seem like you're upset that you're not on the Joe Budden podcast and never have gotten the invite. You seem like you're upset about a lot of different things. I mean, do something besides sitting in, like, what is Angela Stanton? Matter of fact, let's flip this question. What is Angela Stanton King doing for quote unquote her community? I'll wait. I'm gonna shut up because I could have swore she got called out for being fraudulent with her collecting money for, was it the homeless women? She was helping whores. She was doing something. I can't remember what she was doing. But how is that helping the Black community? That's like a niche crowd that is already getting help, that already has avenues to receive help. They know how to get out of whoredom. Like, what are you doing?
And talking just for everybody else. That's it.
What are you doing? How is campaigning for RFK helping your community, Angela Stanton King?
Somebody that's basically a liberal in so many ways.
He supports abortion, which you said was Black genocide. Do I need to pull up this Breakfast Club interview? Huh? Do we need to pull up the Dr. Phil episode of you speaking against the LGBTQ message and now you completely shifted?
You know they don't like receipts and proof. Especially when it's on them.
Mitch ain't responded yet, so I'm probably gonna hop off here, y'all. I like being on here, but only if I'm gonna be engaging and interacting and having people challenge and push back. It's not fun sitting up here talking to yourself or talking with people, no disrespect, that agree with you. You know? We need some fireworks.
You be better than me with conversating with people that they think the opposite is you. Cause me, I'd have been and got loud. I'd have been and started cussing. I can't. I don't see how y'all do it. I can't.
Yeah. Sometimes I get out of character.
Because as soon as I hear something stupid, I'm instantly click. And that's my problem. When I hear something stupid, I'm like, really?
Yeah.
But I'm working on it. I'm trying.
You'll get there. Don't worry. I knew I recognized her from somewhere. Yeah. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get all the funny liberals together. And I'm gonna say, hey y'all, let's discuss black gatekeepers. And I'm gonna bring them on my channel. I won't bring them on somewhere in the middle because I know how Mo feels. I'm gonna bring them on my channel. And I want to see how long we have this circular discussion of who's harmful and who's not, and see how long it takes for us to get to actual solutions and actual tangible evidence on why Candace is bad for the black community. And not your own personal gripes. I'm talking about real, like empirical data that proves that she is a cancer or she's bad for the black community.
I ain't gonna lie, you already started something when you sit up and said black culture was a whip and you finna start something else. You finna start something else.
It is a weapon. It's okay. People don't want to admit it. You know what? That would be a good show. Nobody will have a solution. That's asking too much. And that's all I'm trying to showcase is Angela Stanton King. People like these, people like them who just sit online and critique and don't try to foster conversations that are going to move forward. They're, in my opinion, those are paid agitators. You are paid to be an agitator. You are paid to push a message because they deem you a representative in the black community. And what are you doing to bridge that gap? That would be the only place that I'm coming from. And I got a new kind of, I guess it's kind of a, I don't want to call it a conspiracy theory because it's not. But a few of my Discord homies were posting what I deem to be the new blackface. I think we have new instances of blackface that don't look like the coon chitlin circuit of black people walking around like rabid animals, but more so embracing this culture that I have been calling a weapon for a number of years and a product that we buy into. Dang, I can't find the pictures. I'm going to do it on my, you know what? Hold on. See, this is the beauty of having a bunch of different, avenues.
Mm-hmm.
Discord is lit. I'm telling y'all. Y'all better get on Discord.
I done told
Next
you
wave.
about Discord.
You just gotta hold your peace on Discord.
That's my problem. That's my problem.
It ain't even worth it. Who are these folks? It is not even worth it.
You're right.
I'll be laughing at them. They're funny. You know? And then what happens is they come back and ask you questions like, damn, okay, what you think, Soonie? Hold on, here it is. Let me show y'all the new blackface. Some of you might agree with me. Some of you might be like, bro, you tripping. This is a new blackface. And this is the fault of hip hop culture and black folks in general, because we make these very degenerate things look cool. And now other races want to emulate us. And this is what I'm calling the new blackface. You see that extendo? You see she throwing up the big B's? Blackface. Because we absolutely are the face of this. And it is depicting us in a very bad light. Yeah. Okay? Most of us don't walk around and throw up blood signs.
Or
right? Let's keep going.
Like in the front, huh? Or had a strap like that in the front.
Who else you see doing that besides the black folks that don't represent us all, but represent a fringe minority committing these crimes every year? Yeah. This is a new blackface. You ready? What?
I can stand that woman.
It's cool to have money in your pocket and gold chains on, and like that's cool now. You know who's making her think that's cool?
Of course,
black people.
Yep. She was in a video with a bunch of black people recently. I saw it on TikTok, I think.
And y'all wonder why they think of black folks the way they do. Well, look at the examples that you put up in front of them. You are participating in blackface. Yeah. I'm gonna do a video on this as well. Let's keep going. Mouth full of golds. What? Some people will say, well, that's a down south thing, Soonie. Is it? Is it really?
It's really not.
Or is this something related to hip hop culture, which is a product, and by proxy of this product, a weapon?
Yeah.
Oh, some people will say, well, now, wait a minute. Are you saying it's black to pose in photos with weapons? Context matters. The way you're doing things matter. Who you're emulating matters.
Mm-hmm.
Who walks around looking like this? Who does that?
The typical black group.
This is a new blackface, y'all. Okay? And I'm gonna keep pushing this. I'm gonna figure out a crafty way of putting this into some sort of reel on my Instagram. But like, come on, man.
Yeah.
He said Green Goblin. She does look like Green Goblin. But in my opinion, this is the new blackface. This is the new way to insult black people by putting on these caricatures that don't represent us in macro. And we find it funny. You know, we get offended about the chitlin circuit. We get offended if a white person walks around with brown skin and they say, oh, that's blackface. And they could literally be dressing up as LeBron, Michael Jordan, any other black figure that is positive. You know, y'all get mad at that. But y'all applaud, laugh, and kiki when you see this. Who do you think these people are getting this from?
The typical group. Ain't no
Follow me.
Ain't
Don't get mad at me. Don't get mad at me, y'all. Listen to what I'm saying. Do me a favor. I got to get up off here. Share this live. If you like what you heard here today, subscribe. I will probably be doing more just spur of the moment pop-up lives like this in the future, just talking about different things. I want to foster more communication and conversations around the things that matter. Like, where does this phenomenon of black gatekeeping come from? Why does it have a chokehold on the black community? Why do we need to have approval from these people that Booker T. Washington called out when he said there's a certain set of blacks that make it a business of keeping our troubles in front of us? They've grown into their settled habits of advertising their wrongs, partly because they want sympathy and partly because it pays. Some of these people do not want the Negro to lose his grievances because they do not want to lose their jobs. When do we put them out of business?
A question that need an answer.
When? I'm not offended. You don't have to be. You don't have to be. But that's oversimplifying what I'm trying to showcase, whether you're offended or not.
Don't be offended, but feel embarrassed.
This is the representation. This is what they think, quote unquote, acting black is. And it's going to continue because the youth has taken over social media. The youth is their target. So when we see a bunch of white kids walking around trying to be thugs and they walk around dressing up looking like us, what do you think they're saying they see? They see thuggery, debauchery, degeneracy.
Yeah.
I'm not offended, okay? I understand that there are stereotypes that I'm going to have to fight against for the rest of my life because of what media puts out in front of people. But we can do our job and say, this does not represent me in the slightest. The fact that you want to do this, I'm embarrassed when I see black people do it. And honey, I'm embarrassed for you. You think this is cute. It's not. It's not. Old lady over here, she think this is cute. You know why? Because black people laughing at it. Oh, that's funny. No, it's not. It's not funny.
If I could
Thanks for chilling me with y'all. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
If I could find a video of her being in a rap video with them, I would literally show it because I saw that lady not too long ago.
Oh, if you see it, hand it over to me. I'll do a video to it. Well, thanks for coming on and hanging out with me, Marlandon. You always click the link. Thank you for supporting. Thanks for showing up every Tuesday and Friday. It doesn't go unnoticed. We're going to be doing raffles of free merch and all that. So once we get all that together, hopefully we can get some more engagement, we can get some more viewers, and we can have more discussions like this where we have a more nuanced, contextualized conversation around concepts like this, such as Black Gatekeepers. So thanks for coming on. I appreciate it.
All right.
Thank you all for watching. I'm going to hop on off of here. Let me know if you think I'm tripping. Do you think I had a point? Or do you think I'm kind of overanalyzing this situation? Do you think Angela Stanton King is right in what she's saying about Candace? Or do you think she's being a bit of a hand? Y'all know what that means if you watch Will on Instagram. I can't say it on here. But she seems to be a hating you-know-what. And it's cringe, honey, because you're old enough to be our auntie and you're supposed to be leading by example. But that's my TED Talk. My name is Soonie. I'm Black and I'm not oppressed. I know that pisses people off, but it is what it is, and I'm out.
So when you're done getting high,